Welcome back. This is Daybreak Africa. If you just tuned in, reaching for studio saying on the city, I am EZEKIEL OGAR. Yes, it is World Press Freedom Day, and of course we have our very good friend, a very good friend, person of Sam OLORUNFEMI, to talk to us. I mean, I believe Sam, you're also a journalist.
Exactly.
Of course. So I guess it's more like a journalist hangout.
So it's everything about us.
Just about us. So let's just say it's our week. I'll be talking about journalism and the freedom of press in Nigeria. Welcome on Daybreak Africa once again, Sam.
Thank you, EZEKIEL and Michael.
A very good morning to you, Sam.
Thank you for having me.
Let me start this way. Talking about journalism, talking about freedom of speech, talking about freedom of press and everything. Are we really free in Nigeria?
Well, Michael, that question is very powerful. If you ask me that are we free in this country, you know, let me say again, you know my style of answering questions. It depends on the angle. You are asking me whether we are free in this country or not. I know that we are under a democratic system of government, and when you are trying to divine the difference between a democratic system of government and the military system of government, I think the one thing that will come to your mind is freedom. You know how we operate when it comes to military regime,
of course,
and you know how we operate when it comes to a democratic system of government. But if we are to bring in journalism, the press, the question is press truly free in Nigeria or across the globe? You know, we are talking about word press and the word freedom. You know, when you are talking about journalism, whether print media or media house like this, whether conventional or unconventional, you know, as we speak now in Nigeria, across the world now, you will agree with me, Michael, that everybody is not a journalist. The moment you have your smartphones
exactly
now, and you're able to upload some apps on your on your smart system, you know, everybody now becomes a journalist. Any information you see them putting it out, this and that.
Exactly.
But we're talking about freedom. You see, if you have to look at Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, that Article 19 there, and try to juxtapose it with Section 39, subsection 1 of the Nigerian 1999 Constitution. Those two sections, they are talking about the true freedom, because they are the prerequisite. We are talking about freedom of press. So it stands on the two legs, you understand now, about the freedom. In some aspects, you can see that press is free to some extent, because like I said now, you know, you see people now on social media, especially on WhatsApp. I don't know if you are on a WhatsApp group, you see some people before you know,
broadcast messages.
By the time you put on your data, Michael, you see a lot of information, whether real, fake, one that they have source or no source. You see them popping in on the social media. And as a journalist, you need to take your time before you react, because there was a time I fell for that, and you came up on social media. I didn't take my time. I just reacted, and at the end of the day, I got to know that the information happens to be a fake news. You understand now? So in some area, I can say that it's free to some extent, because as we sit now, like I said, people can sit and put out information, whether real or not real. But when it comes to a conventional media and outlet like this now, like KAFTAN TV now, you can't say anything goes on here. You know, there's a what we call proper scrutiny, and you know the satellite of NBC. You understand now that the moment you produce or you hear something that doesn't have a base, or something that doesn't connect with truth, doesn't have a reliable source, you know the penalty from the NBC.
Of course.
But when we are looking at the side of government, you understand now, the side of government, that is government allow the press or the freedom of press, you understand? So we have to come from that angle, because we've seen series of cases even in Nigeria whereby government tried to gag the media. Where in this country, when some National Assembly members put up a bill at the National Assembly that they want to gag the media, you understand now, that they want to restrict, let me use the word restrict, because when you look at that chapter 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that I cited, and section 39, subsection 1 of the Nigerian 1999 Constitution, it talks about freedom of expression. You know, the two goes together. Freedom and whatever you want to express. There shouldn't be anything that will restrict you from expressing whatever you want to express. But it got to a point that, and again, if you are talking about the freedom of press, we need to be looking at the infiltration of the media. You know, media have been infiltrated, whether you like it or not.
Of course.
Those people that does not even understand the tech of media or journalism, how to do, what to do, how to write, what to say, and not what to say. So they've infiltrated the media atmosphere in such a way that they go out to say whatever they like, to go out to post whatever they like. In fact, I've been practicing journalism since 2013. And I've been practicing journalism. And that was when I was doing my postgraduate at the University of Ibadan. And we were made to know that in most cases, when you want to publish some things, in fact, okay, assuming let's say someone committed a suicide, you know that you can't publish the picture. You can use the rope now to publish the story. But some people will go, in fact, I've seen some people, a gullible event, they will take the picture and the same that picture, they will put it on social media. So you see the what infiltration of those people they've caused in the media space. And you know, it got to a point, government started talking about the restriction of social media in such a way that when you want to have access to social media, there's some things you can post, there's some things you cannot post. You know, it got to a point, you know, when in this country, when a particular social media app now was put down by the government in such a way that people don't have access to that particular platform for some months because of information putting on that particular platform. So it goes like that. But we're talking about information to some extent. We've seen a kind of freedom whereby people can go out and express whatever is burning in their heart. But again, you know, to me, we're talking about the freedom of press, to me, it goes beyond that, because what about the safety of journalists? You know, I've covered the event in this country whereby it got to a point, the whole thing just turned.
Exactly. I was about to get there. Because I feel like you are really fired up this morning because you really want to go into it. Now, you're talking about the infiltration, talking about a lot of restriction and things that are not really, we are not supposed to be seeing, especially when it comes to freedom, as the word says, freedom. Now, in the democratic system, of course, where everybody just believe, when you say you are taking, just like a social media, a platform that was taken out, and people be like, this is a fight against our rights. How do you think people really even understand the aspect of media and what freedom of speech is? And also, people doing the work of the media, because I just see that some people will just feel like, okay, I can sit at any point of my house and any information I feel like, I will just throw it outside without even understanding the basics and everything that's supposed to be followed. What do you think should be done with all these that I've stated out?
You see, thank you for that question. I don't object the social media regulation. I don't object to that, because it has gotten to a point that we need to regulate this issue of social media. We've seen in this country some notable media houses. I'm talking about print media now. You know, before now, print is just this hard copy now. But now they know the adverts that if they base their print operation on this now, they will lose value. So majority of these print media houses you see now, majority of them are on social media. KAFTAN is on social media. It's on Facebook. It's on YouTube and Twitter and so on and so forth. Now, I've seen some media houses in this country that they published a particular story, and at the end of the day, the person they published the story against now came out with facts, and at the end of the day, we begin to see the same media outlet trying to apologize for publishing fake news or a news that you can't verify. You know, we were taught in journalism that before you throw out any news, you must verify the source. You know, I keep telling people, there's what we call an investigative journalism. You hear something, you don't just believe that, oh, it is true, and you put it out and put up your pen and start writing. You must do your investigation very well to know the truth about that particular story. So we've seen a lot of media houses, I'm talking about real media outlets, conventional ones, that they've published fake news about one person or the other, and at the end of the day, they have to retract that particular stories, try and start apologizing. So to me, we see some people that doesn't understand the difference between social media and when it comes to publishing. There's nothing wrong if you want to do something. Maybe you are celebrating your birthday, you put it on social media. If you are celebrating in point A, you can say you are celebrating in point B. Nobody will fight you. But when it comes to information or about character that involve character, we need to be very, very careful in putting out such information. And you know, it got to a point where the outgoing minister. You know, we can't be talking about freedom of information in this country without talking about the current minister of information. So it has been the most controversial minister, because when it comes to information, he will come out and say, no, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. No, it got to a point, he was talking about the regulating the social media, and in fact it got to a point whereby he said that it does not even operate any social media account, and people were like, how will you be a minister of information and not operating any social media account? So the infiltration I talked about, you see people now coming in there, because you can't restrict people from operating or having any handle, maybe Twitter handle, Facebook page, WhatsApp, and so on and so forth. And when they open that platform, the next thing for them is to be putting out information, whether real or not real, on the page. So to me, people yet to understand how to use social media to propagate real information, not fake news, real information. In fact, this thing is very common during electionary periods.
Of course.
Very common. You see people throwing out election results, putting up banding figures at this point. At the end of the day, by the time you will see real electionary figures, it will quite different from the one they are. That's why you see that in every election cycle, INEC will come out to say that don't go with any result you see online. Wait for our own result. The one we upload on social media, and that result that you will follow and monitor. So to me, it will be very difficult, because you can't deny people access in having handle, maybe Twitter handle, Facebook, and so on and so forth. But if you have to look from the angle of the government, that has government been doing well in allowing the freedom of free speech and so on and so forth, especially in this country, I will tell you that we are not there yet, because we've seen, and in fact today now you see that media artists now, if they want to bring in guests now, they need to take a very caution in bringing in guests, so that they will not bring up a guest that will put their station in trouble at the end of the day. NBC is not spending with any media outlet now. Any floor now, you see 5 million fine, 10 million fine, withdrawing license, and so on and so forth. So that one is even creating a kind of fear in the media space in this country. No, you need to give us a kind of space so that we can ventilate our opinion and we can express whatever that is bothering us. Because, like I said, Section 39 of the Nigerian Constitution, Subsection 1, is very clear about freedom. When you say something free, it shows that you have all avenue to say it and just to purge it out as it is. But it's like some people are now taking the advantage of that particular thing now, maybe just to mislead the public and to propagate fake news. There was a time fake news was the talk of the town in this country. Fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news. Something that is not real. So to me, media space is the battling with professional journalists and those that did not even understand what journalism is talking about. For them, it's just to go out, throw out news, whether real or not real, whether having source or no source. So media space has been battling. And in fact, in a build up to the election, I was discussing with the NUJ chairman in Ondo State, and it was like they are putting up a kind of workshop, and out of the workshop, he sent out a kind of a press release that those that are not trained, they know that they are not a trained journalist, they must not put up anything that can jeopardize the system or the national system. That they should stay clear from the media. So that is the point we've got to know in this country, that those that doesn't understand how media operates, because like I said, everybody is not a journalist now. The moment you have a smartphone and you have some data on it now that you can send information, everybody is not a journalist, whether you are putting on real news or fake news. So this will still continue, but it behoves on the government on how to provide an enabling environment. So that, you see,
I think that is actually the major question. The government actually providing an enabling environment. The question is how supporting has the government been to journalists, to the media in the past years? People tend to believe the government just tried to oppress and censor and take information, but not really looking out for the safety, for the growth, and how exactly to support the media. You
see, it's quite unfortunate that our government has seen media as their enemy. It's quite unfortunate that government doesn't understand the role of media. They don't understand the role of media. Because today now, if you are talking about the president didn't do well, didn't do this, they will see you as the enemy of the government. And that is what media is talking about. Media is an avenue to showcase or to hold government accountable. That's that's the simple way I can put it. And it's another avenue now to project what the media, what the government is doing, and to let people know what is going on in government. Because if you guys don't tell people outside what is going on, people will don't know what is going on. You need to know the millions of people that are watching KAFTAN TV just to get information. I've been here on series of election. You see how people are calling in far away from Borno State, from Kwara State. So it shows that they believe that the only avenue, the only platform for them to know, to be updated about what is going on, whether about government, whether about public sector or private sector, is through the media. And the moment you see media talking about government, you know, one thing about government is that government doesn't want media that will be talking negative about them. I was telling someone that one thing about we journalists is that something that is negative news to you guys is positive news for we journalists. You said that if I should put up a write-up that someone gave birth in the hospital, you know, people see that is normal. But if I should write that a particular woman died in the process of giving birth, people would like to read the story. That what really happened was that she was rushed to the hospital late. You know, to people, that one is a bad story.
Looking for ways to point accusing fingers.
But to we media, you understand? But to we media now, that is what we need to do to project. And one thing about media is that media is all about getting more audience,
of course,
to your outreach. You know, putting all the news that we attract audience to your outreach. Like print media, you know, the gimmick is in print media, because when we during our training, we were taught how to craft out an headlines in such a way that it will attract people to read that story. Well. And when people are reading your story, don't allow people to conclude at the first sentence what that story is talking about. Keeping them in suspense till they will read the end of the story. I could remember there was a time I and my friend went out to cover stories, and we put together our story, we submitted to the editor. And you see that at the end of the day, editor will take one, we reject one, because editor will need to sit down, look at the story, look at the headline. Is it captivating enough? But there was a time you write story, editor will change the headline for you, and be thinking, I know I took time to put up the story together. See the editor now changing the headlines. You see now. So that is what the media is talking about. And government again. You see, government is almost all government that doesn't like media coming out to talk about government, you know. In fact, I think it got to a point in this country when, was it the Minister of Information or Army spokesperson coming out to say that they want to ban media from reporting the activities of the Nigerian military when they are fighting Boko Haram, and they don't want them to put out what's going on. People like that, if they don't project the success you guys are making at the field, how will Nigerian rate you that you are really doing the work? If you are fighting, you are killing Boko Haram, nobody is reporting to the public. Nobody is telling the public that no, our military are doing well. They are killing Boko Haram. How would they judge you? How would they rate you? How would they have the confidence in you? You see now? And even you see, government will like media praising. And government don't know that the more we talk about what government is not doing, the more we keep them to know what to do. Like I was telling someone that if someone like me should hold any political office today, I will give room for media, because I will know that, you know, media serve as a kind of evaluation. You understand now? You know, you don't know it all. And people who are walking around, whether as ministers or commissioners, they may not even understand that they are not making progress in one way or the other. But by the time they see the story in media, by the time they see the story, oh, government is here to touch this particular area, we are still having a bad road network in a particular place. You don't see it as if they are projecting your government, as if you are not doing anything, as if you are not giving back to the society. You rather should see it as a kind of wake-up call that we see have some areas that our government is yet to cover. We've seen cases in this country under democratic system of government whereby military invaded a print media house and they gagged the media, they seized all the print paper that are supposed to be out the following days in this country. Now, journalists have been arrested.
Exactly where I want to come in. You know, when situation comes this way, some of you agree with me that it's very, very easy for us where we want to point out accusing fingers, government not helping us. But now, let's bring it back to the media house. When there's interest, of course, there's a room for being biased. Exactly. And people can also go behind the doors and do a lot of things. Where do you think the media houses the outlets are getting it wrong, for them not to even have this freedom that they so much crave for, to be able to operate.
You see, again, it's still about how politicians are trying to use media to work in their favor and to work against their opponent. Yes or no? You know, we've seen cases whereby you see maybe a political party or a candidate in an election going on media talking about the opponent, and we don't have the opponent there. You know, I keep telling my friends that I see parties now that come, if during election period, if you are talking about politics, if you invite a particular candidate in your studio, and if he's talking about the opposition, you need to cut him down, because the person is not there to defend himself or herself. Just allow him to talk about what he wants to do. Stop talking about the opposition is not doing this. Let us mean you have the two parties on seat. Then allow them to go.
Banter.
Allow them to banter. They talk about, but when you have one party and another party is not there to respond, to counter it will be wrong.
Of course.
For you to open the channel for that person to talk, because at the end of the day, by the time the person will come and react, you know, news is flying. Before you know, a news drop now, just like an herb, you see now. So for you to retract, it will go a long way. So it's like even politicians are even using media. We've seen cases where a politician will employ some media guru to write a lot of things about their opponent, whether real or not real. You understand now? So that's another angle where the media is somehow getting it wrong, because they are trying to play into the gallery, they are trying to play into the hand of the journalist, especially during electionary season. And that is why you see that when each time we are moving close to election, you see how people are rushing to the media to talk about this, to talk about that. I'm not saying it's bad, it's good. In fact, the regulation is inside the Electoral Act, what media should do and the projection media should give to politicians and political parties. And again, the area in which I see that government is not doing, especially the federal and the state government, you will see that state-owned, maybe TV station or radio station, you see that especially during the election season, they don't allow the opposition to come to that platform and hear their views and hear their manifestos. You see politicians running to the private TV station, and even at the federal, at the NTA level, you see cases. You see the government in power, all programs on that particular government, you be the one they will be hearing. You will not hear that of opposition. So that's another angle where media needs to put up now their work. And when you look at the Electoral Act, especially during the election period, it's talking about whether you own a private station or public TV station, you must balance it across the political parties. If you are a sitting governor and your party is party OP, you don't restrict the activities of that particular media to the activities of OP political party. You allow other political parties to come and hold debate and talk and do a lot of things. But that is not the case in school. That's why it just looks like people are now going to the private TV station now to hear their views and to do a lot of things. Like, you know, we need to give kudos to KAFTAN TV, not because I'm coming here to analyze. You saw the way we analyzed during the election, even though we have someone that is contesting on that platform, but we were given the rooms to analyze, to talk about other political parties. But if it is some people now, you need to be hearing their views, only the political party on the platform. They will not even allow some political party now to come and discuss. But you see, during the election, when we're here live, you know, we're discussing PDP, APC, SDP, and other political parties. That is how it should be. That is how media should go out and project. You don't just sit somewhere and try to do a favor to a particular party and try to prevent others from hearing their views. But be as it may, we still need more freedom of emotion, and we need people, not only government now, to come to the aid of the media. For whether government, whether NGOs, and so on and so on, people that can come to the rescue and promote the information of maybe journalists and so on, or freedom of expression in this country. So we see some people to come together and put in resources in such a way that we can uphold the fundamental rights of freedom of expression within and outside the country.
Exactly. Talking about the freedom of the fundamental right and everything. You will agree with me that most times, especially when there is chaos, as a media person, you want to go out for a report. You know, you have families at home. And you'll be like, it's just like a war front. I'm going there and I don't know what is going to happen to me next. Insurance. And a lot of things that will make you feel like, okay, I have these things covered. If anything should happen to me, I'm very sure my family is going to fall back. But I don't think it's the case here. Do you really think we understand this aspect? And at the end of the day, we can blame everybody that will take something at the back and publish something in favor of some political party because, of course, the gain is you want to make money, you want to do well for your family, there are a lot of bills on you. But do you think the government and also the private sectors are really doing well in this aspect to provide insurance for press people, for journalists to do their work appropriately?
There was a time that this incessant of attacking journalists common in this country, Abuja and Lagos, a little riot, to see people attacking journalists, breaking their cameras. In fact, we've seen cases whereby you'll be doing a kind of shot and they will tell you that off your camera, off your camera. If you don't off your camera, we attack you now.
Of course.
You know what happened, they've attacked your cameraman, camera broken, and so on and so. So there was a time where that issue of attacking journalists so rampant in this country, and the AUG national body was talking about that. It is high time we have a life assurance now for journalists, that any journalist attacked or killed now, the government will be responsible for the family, because see, we can't do without press.
Of course,
press is life. You can't do press whether you like it or not.
They are like water.
Is life. In fact, we see cases whereby if you want people to know what you are doing, you need to invite press. You need to invite.
Of course.
That's just it. You see? That's just it. So that time was so rampant. So in fact, during our time, we were taught that when you are going out to report, if the something is turning chaos, see, safety first you.
Find your level.
It's true. Safety is first you.
Number one.
Abandon the camera. If you can get little story,
Move.
Come back. But we see some journalists that if they want to go out now, some of them don't go out with camera. You have a very good smartphones. You understand? Do cover whatever you want to cover. Send it to the editorial room. They will do the editing for you. Then when you are editing, they put amateur video there. Just so that you did not use this to use your camera to record.
Of
so
course.
Safety is first, and we need. To me, government needs to come with this issue of guiding and try to save our journalists. You know, we've lost a lot of journalists, maybe during protests, crises. Maybe, in fact, we've seen cases where when you see maybe security personnel when they want to go and face some Boko Haram, they do go with some journalists because when they are wearing their life vests, they will put it in the front, press. So that they will be able to differentiate them. But yet we see some people that are being killed at the field. So journalists now, they need more health insurance. They need more viable environment. And they need more package. You know, not all journalists are working with government. We have some that are working with private sectors, and we have some freelancers that are doing their own. We have some bloggers that they are just doing their own. And it doesn't lie in the hands of government in protecting journalists, especially when they are going out to do some coverage. In fact, during the 2020 ENSAS, we have some journalists that most of them paid the price, you know. And you know, one thing about journalists is that, in fact, there's competition in this assignment. You know, if three of us now should go and cover now, Ezekiel will try to give us a very cool caption. Michael will try to give a very cool caption. Sam will stand in. It's not even that by the time three of us submit our report to the editors, they'll say, hey, no, Sam, your own is good now. Let you know there's a competition around when they are doing your coverage and do this. During the 2020 SR protest, we have some journalists that in the process of trying to cover, send some pictures online, some of them got injured. And then there was a man then, even in Nudu, that called me. You know, we're talking about engineer Ayochide Bali. You know, he called me that, Sam, come. How can we, these journalists that they were injured, how can we be of service to them? How can we help them? I'm not talking about someone in government, someone that's not in government. That how can we help them? And I gave them their names, and he went there and he paid their hospital bills. You understand that? No, these guys, they are the live wire of the public. When it comes to public relations, they are the live wire. So Bali then did a lot of things for them, pay their hospital bills, that these guys should come back to their faith. So that is how it should be. We need more people, not government alone now, that will secure the lives and property of Nigeria. We've seen some journalists that they will know where you are living. If they don't meet you at home, they scatter your place. They scatter your place. They do a lot of things. No, so our life needs. I'm saying our life because I'm still active in the business now. Our life needs to be protected because it is we that is giving the public what they are feeding on. People rely more now on journalists, especially the media space, because we are the one. It's just like we are the shining light now to the public, because no matter what government is doing, no matter the level of achievement of any government, if they don't put it on the media, if the media did not project it, it's as good as failure. That's why you see that a lot of things. In fact, you see people now putting everything what they are doing, putting it in the media, doing this, doing that to project them. So media space now, they need more safety. They need more enabling environment. But there was something happened in Syria then when a particular TV station, international TV station, lost one of their staff into the incident. She was shot, whether intentional or not intentional, in the line of coverage. You know, people are talking about medical doctors that their job is they are paid them outside allowance. Journalists are sweating to be paid outside allowance. It's not easy. The job is especially those who will go out and cover, even those in the studio. You think it's easy to bring up questions? It's not easy. You know, it's not easy. So even media guys as well, even they need also to be paid what we call hazard allowance, because without media, there's no information. Without information, there's no life.
Now, okay. All right. Now, this is the situation on ground. There, we have a lot of people. You know, as much as we love the media, people say they love the media.
Yes.
The moment is not going your way. They are your enemy. Now, you bring so many political people to the studio. You want to have an interview with them. Now, of course, for every person that is coming in, there are some of them that you have some skeletons in their cupboard.
Exactly.
And when you speak about the investigative journalism, you know, you might have done your digging and you got some things like, okay, yes, this is how we are going to attack it.
Yes.
Now, when you bring it to them and be like, okay, let me even cite an example. There was a popular person in the government, right? This present government. The person was on a radio interview, and one popular investigative journalist called in, and they said this also person is online, and this person would like to have a word with you, like an interview, like. And she was no. You know, I feel like they don't really understand this thing. They don't understand what we are not against them.
Exactly.
They always feel attacked. And now, at the end of the day, because these people are the power that be, they have this power, they have this connection. Still talking about the security aspects. At the end of the day, so many media outlets, they tend to withhold some truth. They are supposed to be given to the general public, general masses, for them to know, okay, this is what is really going on. We spoke about the Boko Haram, the insurgency, and a lot of things that are going on. I will feel like, okay, we are the media, we are their eyes where they can see. We're supposed to bring everything to light and let them see things. Now, the government has been saying they are with the media, but the moment they are not with, you are not giving them what they want or what they feel like you should stand with them, you are not standing there, you become an enemy. They get attacked. And at the end of the day, most people misconcept this media, democracy, freedom of speech, and a lot of things are there. Do you think there should be a public enlightenment for the general masses to understand what the media stands for, even people in power? Because we feel like, okay, when you are in power, you should understand what the media stands for. And at the end of the day, they feel attacked and they feel like, this person, I'm not coming for your interview because you are going to attack me on your set. I don't feel like you will just go against because you don't like my party, you don't like this. Do you think there should be a general assessment or let me say enlightenment to these people for them to understand what the media really stand for, that we are not enemy of the people, we are not their enemy?
Michael, they know. They are pretending. They understand that media is not their enemy. If media is their enemy, why are they having Ministry of Information?
Exactly.
Why is that majority of them they are having social media handles? Hardly will you see a politician today without a Twitter handle,
of course,
or a Facebook handle. It's so that they understand the media. You understand? And even from there, you see by the time they put out something on their Facebook page, on their Twitter page, you see some people try to tell them the real fact of a particular thing. In fact, most of them, Most of them now, most of them, you know, I was once a media to a politician. Most of them, they're not the one handling the platform. They give it to their media heads.
Of course.
You understand? And that's why they put media heads now in a problem, because by the time they are asking, maybe Ezekiel now is a sitting honorable member, and someone is trying to work from the constituency. Ezekiel, for the past 3.5 years, what have you been able to do in our constituency? We've not seen your handle, and you put your media head there to be doing. Now, those are facts, but they are trying to dodge the systems. You see, like I said, it will be unfair for someone as a journalist that you don't have your facts. If you are a politician now, or maybe you are a sitting governor, and I have you in my studio, before I can ask questions, I must have gotten my facts.
Of course.
I can't just come and ask you questions that doesn't have a base, because in most cases you ask me that I don't have my facts, and we see some journalists that they will be rolling out statistics. This year. So they themselves, they understand the fact. And let me give you guys will know that we have some people that if you want to come to your studio, they will tell you the question you ask. Ezekiel, I'm coming. These are the questions I want you to ask.
Very
Please,
true.
don't go beyond this question. You know, in fact, some they will ask you to send questions over to them. You compile we have been doing this for long.
Yes.
You will compile your questions, you will send it over, they will go through it. Some of them they also have media guru. They will call their media guru. Which one you think we should remove from these questions? And they'll tell you that regardless remove them. Then they will now send the question they want you
to ask them.
They will send it to you.
To avoid chaos.
And that is agreement. So they don't come on set and you ask outside that question. So some of them, they understand. They know that we media, we are not their enemies. We are their friends. If media is their enemy, why would they come during an election? That they want to hear their political manifestos, that they want us to tell people about their manifestos, that they want to put their stories in the print. No, we are doing something. You know, I keep telling people that if no matter how exalted your office is as a politician, whatever you are doing, you must put it in the media for people to see. So most of the only few of them we accept an invitation without even asking you that these are the questions that I want you guys to ask me. Or these are the areas that I don't want to. You know, we have some people that they will just tell you that this area, don't ask questions on it, please. If you agree, I will come on set. If you don't agree, go and call another person. So they understand and they know the importance of media, that we are the one that will come and do what and review, because people so much rely on we media that we are the one that will tell them the whole truth. That's why you see people are watching programs like this, people are listening to news because they want to know what is going on, they want to know the updates. So people who believe that media is their enemy, media is not their enemy. And again, you know, although we have some media outlets that they are trying to derail from the core value and fundamental truth of journalism because of money, because of this, because of influence, because of that, because of this. In fact, we have some media outlets in this country that the moment they invite you, you know, there's even between when you are trying to get a truth story or a truth behind the story and you are trying to try to damage the image of a particular person. They will know. You understand now? So again, those media that are still trying to derail from the core objectives of media, they need to retract their steps because nobody can, no politician, no political party can do without media. And even in political offices, you hear the public secretary or a political party. What does that mean?
True.
Is it not media to project the image of the party? And you see I doubt if you have a politician today that doesn't have a media aid. You see a governor with the chief press secretary. Look at our president, about 5 media warriors working for him. We have special advisor to the president. We have senior special assistants to the president. We have SSA, all of them just media to the president. You understand? So projecting the image of the president. And the moment you are trying to put them on the seat, that no, you need to see again, media will be the one to hold them accountable to the public. You know, it's not possible for all Nigerians now that they want to go to Abuja. They want to go and ask Buhari what he has done in the past 8 years. No, by the end of this month, no, we believe in it. But we media, we can be the help of the masses. What Mr. President is doing and so on and so forth, we put it in the media for people to see and scrutinize the government. So they should stop seeing the media as their enemy. Media is not their enemy. Media is the true picture of the government to tell the people what the government is doing.
The truth is, sometimes we feel the government unjustly oppress or attack the media. But you agree with me, we have journalists are humans, and we have certain media houses and journalists that tend to be quite sentimental. We all have our personal perspective. We all have our belief. Although it is professional for a media personality to be neutral while trying to attack a situation. But you also agree with me that some persons could be quite sentimental. So don't you think this issue of sentiment, it was making the government really pound hard or media houses?
It is there, and I won't mention names. We have some media houses in this country that they are owned by politicians. They're owned by politicians, some media houses, TV stations in this country, that they are owned by politicians. They are well known. We don't need to mention names. So what do you expect from that angle, Ezekiel? Let's assume I'm a politician, I have my media house. You are a politician, you have your home media house. What will you think people are employed? You pay the pipers. What do you think they will be doing? Do you think they will be projecting your image? That even if I'm not contesting, the fact that I'm a chieftain in a political party, and my party is feeding candidates, whether in a presidential election or a governorship election or national assembly election, you think they will not put my own political image or political party image down and start trying to raise your own image? No. And again, they will try to be bringing an analyst. That pitch tent with my whole political party to speak more of my political party than your political party. Even in your own political party again.
You do the same.
You may not interfere, but your general manager, director of programs, you don't need to tell him or her. He knows, he or she knows that this station is owned by Ezekiel, a politician. Though he's not contesting, but his party is having a presidential candidate. So whether we bring about to come and do analysis, we must not be opposition that will be talking down on his image or the image of his party. So we need to bring some people that are quite sentimental in such a way that even if his party is zigging and putting people every day, they will tell you that they are putting crops, not people. That those crops will dominate in 5 years to come. But citizens know that they are putting people inside the pit. So the manager will try to protect his image. It's all about protecting your image, Ezekiel. It's all about, because he who hires can fire at any time. So that's one of the sentiments that we are talking about. In as much we are having more politicians holding media houses, whether conventional or not conventional, all those things, they are inevitable, Ezekiel, whether we like it or not. But again, not because I'm here, I must give kudos to KAFTAN TV. I've analyzed election here in this country without even mentioning any of with talking about two political parties, PDP and APC, and we spend time as if these are the two parties that are existing in this country. You see now, and we've never got, so it's so that the owner of this TV is a Democrat. He understands how media should be. That no media should be for all. But unlike others, that all what we'll be hearing on their platform is about their political parties, whether they are doing well or not, they are doing well. Whether we have some of their party members who are doing bad, they will still bring. We have some analysts that are good. if they take the bad thing, you will agree with them.
I really agree with you. I'm really enjoying you on this, enjoying everything that you're giving us on this. But time is not really our friend on this matter. So let's just say in a minute, what is your final message to the general public, the people in the political sector, and the press?
From the general public is that the media need more of their support, because media, when we look at media is working for the public. That is my own view of it now. Media, because all the information dishing out is for the general public. They know for them to know what is going on, for us to give them feedback about what is going on in government. When you look at the government, the composition of government is quite small comparing to the composition of the citizen out there. So for citizen, media, they need their support. Even in most cases, there's nothing wrong if you see citizen with viable information. all of us know we are not an island of knowledge. That I'm a journalist doesn't mean that I know everything in the whole world.
Of course.
We start some people that will tell me that Sam, this one is going on. Please put it on the media. Do it. So they also can be helping the media in projecting what is going on in their various communities down to the government. Government should not see media as their enemy. Especially the president that will be coming up May 29 now should work closely with the media. When media is talking about your government is here to do this, your ministers, you know, we have some ministers whereby you see media reporting about what minister is doing, and you see the president try to side the minister and try to go against the media. No, media is not your enemy. Media, partly with the media to showcase what you are doing and to give you a kind of feedback. You know, in the media houses, there's what we call a feedback TV. Just so when you are doing your thing, you see a feedback, try to adjust yourself. So media is just like a feedback to government. Whatever you are doing, put it on the media. Let media see, then let media give you. In fact, there's nothing wrong if you see a president or governor coming on a TV like KAFTAN. Okay, for the past 3 months, let me come and tell the public what I've done so far. Hear views from the public. You are here to touch our area. We are here to touch our area. Then again, to our colleagues in the media, they should try to hold the professionalism of journalism.
Thank you. Thank you.
The professionalism of journalism.
Thank you very much. I feel like something in me is telling me that this is an unfinished business.
It sounds so. It sounds so.
But we really appreciate you coming on the program today.
Thank you
very much for always honoring our invitation. The masses, everybody watching at home, we are your friend. We love you and we'll give you everything that your eyes can see, but we can see. And from here, we'll be rounding up and taking over to our Lagos studio, where we'll be handing over for them to give you more juicy package. From here, I'll be signing out. I am Michael Obagiri.
Have a wonderful day ahead. I remain Ezekiel Organ.